Alrighty guys, for today's video, we are going to be reacting to the very first reworked Udyr gameplay to ever come out on YouTube. This is a video that Trick2g just posted, and I wanted to react to it and go over all of the abilities, all the new combos, his visuals, because every last part of him got completely reworked, so let's get into it. So, we are going into this. This is going to be probably the hook clip, I'd imagine. And you can see his E makes him CC immune when you cast it twice. And we're going to go over all the abilities.
Gameplay test I did for the deer. This was recorded at Riot in the internal playtest environment. So there is some wonky UI stuff since it's not as polished.
Yep, so it was recorded at Riot, and basically the test server is a little bit different. Yeah, and the playtest team are literally all like high diamond. I think there's even a challenger player. There's definitely a few master tier or GM players, but they're all like really good players. Remember when I went to test the Kali rework, they were surprisingly like insanely good, but also it was my very first time playing the current Akali, so that's kind of hard. But if you look at, I think he's using Black Belt Udyr, the skin, and you can see that everything is completely different. His Q, I'm actually just going to go into the abilities in case you are unfamiliar with them. So basically his passive just, it's the same exact, he's very much the same champion where he has his mark and his 4 stances, and the only difference truly is that his passive now means that after every 40 seconds, and it scales with cooldown reduction, you can recast an awakened version. It's called Spirit Walker, and instead of a traditional ultimate, he has 4 basic abilities that swap between stances, and he can recast his stance during its cooldown to awaken it, refreshing with bonus effects. So every spell has their, their stance and the bonus effect. So his Q gets attack speed for 4 seconds, and then next 2 attacks in the stance deals bonus maximum health, and then you can awaken it, giving you way more attack speed, and then it does lightning, and it does up to 10.6% maximum health damage to isolated targets. And as you can kind of see what he's doing here, I'm going to go in order of what he's using right now. So now he's using his R, which if you look at it, well, he's using his isolated Q because that's really good. Q is really good for the single jungle camps. Then he uses his R, which is Storm Stance, which surrounds him in a glacial storm for 4 seconds, and it deals 20 magic damage per second to nearby enemies inside and slows them by 15%. Udyr's next attacks in the stance deal magic damage to enemies in the storm, and then you can also awaken it to make the AoE last longer and do more maximum health. This champion has a lot of maximum health, let's just put it that way. What does he have next? Looks like he has the E, which is pretty much the same exact thing. Gets movement speed, and you can you stun every target with like a 6-second cooldown on each target. As you can see, he's going to be going for just each one, I think. Very free. Looks like Udyr is probably going to be like the king of taking Scuttle Crab at level 3. And yeah, no, it looks like he is going for an invade onto the golems. Okay, it's gone. Probably not going to get a good gank off, I don't think. Looks like jungler went top to bots, which is something that literally only high elo junglers do, as far as I could tell. But yeah, you can see he tries to use 2 parts of his E. He awakens it for more movement speed. He gets a 32% more movement speed when he awakens it, which is, I think that puts him at 62% movement speed, which is a very nice buff for ganking, and you're immune to CC, so you can also use it to escape. But moving forward, I guess there's a lot to talk about because I made a video reacting to his first gameplay, and the comments about the Udyr rework were very polarized. I think a lot of people are just excited that Udyr is getting reworked, and I will say he looks really cool. I think he kind of doesn't have the elements of like a 2022 champion. You'd think that like you could press E and then right click and then teleport across the screen like an Echo E these days, but the fact that that doesn't exist is kind of cool, but also might make him so he gets kited a bit. But luckily he has, nice, very well done. The fact that he can cast his E twice and be immune to CC. And I have a feeling it's not going to end too. Alright, Ken back. Got this done.
Am I going to get Phoenix? Oh my god, we hit this long. Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh my
What
gosh.
do we do in a situation like this? Do you have heal? How long till heal?
Oh my gosh, if that Yuumi hit Q, that would have been really useful for their opportunity of killing the Wukong, but it's all good. He's gonna get a little KO'd, and we're gonna skip forward until the next bit of action. So, pretty much, I would imagine. So it looks like he's maxing his R, which is the AOE form. I think that's probably gonna be the move for when you're jungling, but I think if you're gonna go mid lane or top lane, you're gonna definitely want to go Q max. But at the same time, I bet you it kind of depends on the matchup, because Udyr's new Q doing isolated damage, so his Q does next to attacks, call lightning to strike 6 times, dealing up to 10.6% maximum health damage to isolated targets. That's incredibly good for the river fight, the 1v1 for Scuttle Crab. But I would imagine the safer, consistent option is going to be just to go for your R, the Storm. But we will talk about the W. I don't think you really need it in a lot of situations, but we're going to talk about it. So it's no longer turtle form, or turtle stance, it's Iron Mantle, which is pretty much the same thing, but he gains a shield. His next 2 attacks additionally give him 10% lifesteal and restore a little bit of health on hit. And then when you awaken it, he gets a shield that's 3 times bigger and gets 8 times more health, but it regenerates over 4 seconds. And then you also get bonus, double the lifesteal and on-hit steal. On-hit lifesteal, damn. Yeah, it doubles, so that's kind of crazy. As you can see, Wukong is 6. And his awakened form is up in a second. Okay, it looks like he has the Storm tapped onto the Wukong, because that's what he's maxing. So you can kind of see it kind of like just goes onto him like that. So that is cool. Yeah, this champion looks fun, but for me, the problem, since I play champions like Akali, Katarina Yasuo, is just the lack of mobility seems like you're kind of destined to have a bit of a stressful time. But I guess not every champion has a dash, but it really feels like these days every champion has a dash. Or is that just me? I really feel like every champion has a dash. But as you can see, he's marked with the R. I would love to see a Q-Max game with full AD. I think that'll be the first game. That'll be the first video I do when he comes out on Tuesday. I think that will be like 8/11 or something. August 11th. So continuing on using every form. I think he uses stances and then he switches after 2 autos. Just because you get bonus attack speed for 2 autos and then you need to switch again. And as you can see, it looks like he's literally not putting a point in W. As I suspected, if your jungle clear is healthy enough, it's not necessary. And he is waiting for a gank. Alright. Maybe a second too early. Yeah, if it's warded. Can't be disabled. He's not going to get him. Alright. Yeah, Fear was just out of range for when he would potentially show through that ward that Aatrox would have in that brush. Enemy Vel'Kon's is 5-0. But yeah, so far so good. And it's really cool, obviously, that Riot recognizes that Trick2g is the only Udyr god that exists. I think he's literally the only person that plays Udyr out of several billion players. But he is literally the face of Udyr, and I think it's really cool that they did this. I know when I did Akali, I accidentally leaked it. Long story, but basically, the shortest version is I posted the video unlisted. It wasn't public, but because I put it in one of my playlists, people were able to find it, even though it wasn't a public video. Did not know that was a thing. And then actually, I believe someone went to Riot afterwards, a very small creator actually, like I'm talking a few thousand followers, went to Riot to reveal, I don't want to say Yuumi, I want to say, I'm not sure which champion, but it was a support a year or 2 after me, and they also leaked the champion the same exact way. And while they fight, I guess one thing I'll say in my defense is because people always ask if I did it on purpose. Riot was gonna put my video on the client, and after that whole thing, they didn't. So, you know, yeah, not worth. But they ended up getting a lot of. I think they got good exposure off of it because they made a lot of news articles. At least I hope they did. I'm not gonna lie. I hope they got good exposure. Anyways, back to Udyr. I just had to throw that one out there. Yeah, he's using maxing his R. I think that's just the move because he's literally just jungling, and if he's not taking the these or the raptors that are AoE, he's gonna be taking blue and Gromp at the same time. Wolves also AoE, so it makes sense to go for an AoE based form. All right, he's got his empowered E ready to go. One. Oh, okay. I don't know if he needed to use his empowered E. I think he could have just used his empowered R for more damage. He was already like on top of them and they weren't going anywhere. But nonetheless, it can be so difficult and confusing playing at Riot a new champion that just doesn't exist yet. Especially just like different computer, no ping at all. Actually, it says he has 27 ping. But they're literally on like a test realm in like a secret room. It's really cool, actually. Yeah. Going for the Dark Seal. I've actually preached this before, but even if you're going for an AD build, if you're a champion that has AP scalings on everything, get a Dark Seal if you have the gold, because it is such a cost-efficient item. If you can get the ball rolling on it. And it's just like no downside, so... As you can see, Mark in the Storm. Pretty cool. Love that. It's just very, very fast jungle clear. Oh. He just got... Oh, he got outplayed. But then Vex existed. Alright, he doesn't have his Awakened for 10 seconds. I think that'll be just enough time for the bot lane to escape. Maybe not. Actually, no, maybe not. Alright, let's see what Mark uses. He's going to use E. Yeah, he goes... I believe he used it... Oh, he used it on his art. You can see it's literally, as I said in the original video without even seeing it, it's a Victor ultimate. That's... Honestly, it's cool. You can't blame... See, this is something I see in all the comments of videos. Oh, no. You're just dead. Nice. Big shutdown for Vex. You can't expect every champion to have 5 new abilities that weren't based off of something else. I just don't know if... I don't know, it just seems like it's pretty close to impossible to have that many different game mechanics. And I feel like a little bit of relatability makes it easier to understand, considering there are over 150 champions now. But yeah, I think that's one thing I see the comments. People talk about new champions, like, oh, this is literally just X, Y, and Z's champions mixed into one. That doesn't have to always be a bad thing. I think that's something that I would say. But in terms of this champion overall, I think he's cool, but I kind of wonder if they could have made the stances work together a little bit more. They seem like completely different things with no synergy. And I think that's the point, just like spam your abilities and right click. Kind of like, not brainless, but like definitely a little less thought out than most champions. Because you're not like comboing multiple things into each other. Like you do have a little bit of decision making to make now with that awakened stance. Ooh, rip. Come on, do you kill that to reset? Aw. Rip in peace. But yeah, overall, champion is interesting. I think this is like a great... If I imagine it'd be like a great starter champion for junglers and top laners. Because you can max W if you need to. You can go ult, you can just jungle and wave clear. And it seems like it's incredibly safe. I think any champion that goes tank and has good AoE is a pretty safe jungler. But then again, I don't know the whole jungle meta. But yeah, overall, so far, so good. I would imagine, I would hope that he wins this game. I don't know if that's a requirement for him though, to be honest with you. For Riot, I think they're gonna just give it their best. It's a really close game, which is amazing. Yeah, it looks like, oh, he just have a point in W now. Also, can we talk about the decision of Riot making Udyr a thick boy? Like, interesting for sure, right? Like, every champion has like a six-pack for the past... I don't know, they either have like a six-pack or just the biggest, you know, the biggest BF swords, or something like that. But the fact that this champion is has a thick gut is, it's a little interesting. I mean, I kind of, I like it for sure. It's, you know, it's awesome that not every champion is like a freaking anime six-pack, but it's just you wouldn't think Riot would do it after like 20,000 champions with just like giant two-packs on their existence. Anyways, it looks like he's running 440 MS. Oh, with E. Okay, so he's like, he's such a similar... Okay, it is a VGU. So it's not a full-on rework. It's just every... The ult is... Even the ultimate just went from Phoenix to Frost, but it's AoE. The E is very similar. W is very similar. Q is very similar. And the passive is very similar. You know, I kind of like this. I feel like it's more visual than gameplay, honestly. Let's see. Every time he autos, it seems like his cooldown's going down a second or two. Huh. Okay, because you're passive. After using an ability, Udyr's next two attacks within 4 seconds gain 30% increased attack speed and refund 5% of Awaken's cooldown on hit. Okay, so it literally is reducing the cooldown by 5% whenever you attack with your autos. Alright, so let's move forward. And yeah, it seems like the champion's pretty much just like a front line. Very straightforward, I'd say. I wonder what the scaling is on your Q. I feel like that is something that's going to determine whether or not you can do that tiger form cheese they used to do back in the top lane. Because I've definitely seen some AD Udyrs press Q and one-shot AD carry. But mostly like a few years ago. But definitely seen that. I love how this was recorded on an internal playtest environment. This does not represent final gameplay. They, I think Riot thinks like the average player is just like doesn't get it. But to be fair, maybe they don't. I remember, I did an all-star event a few years back, and it was on this 1v1 map where the game explodes when you get the first turret. There's just one turret, or 100 CS. I asked if I could make videos on this, like 1v1, like YouTubers, and they're like, no, we asked Riot, but they don't want the public to think that this is available, or this is available for them to play. I'm like, can I just like say that it's not? And they're like, oh, you know, yeah. I could definitely go on about Riot as a company, but I'm trying not to, because I think it's pointless. It is what it is, and there's no point in like, you know, just gotta take it for what it is. There's no sense in trying to change a giant company. Or, okay, all right, let's see what's going on. So he literally hasn't taken damage, and he has 2 people on him. Still hasn't taken damage. Holy shit. Okay. So I want to check his damage, because clearly he's incredibly tanky. Damage is okay. It's pretty decent. And with the Yumi on him as well. That was funny. Alright, I'm guessing he's gonna take Dragon, no? Alright, he's just jungling. And let's continue on. So he looks like he's recalling. Oh, he's going for a demonic. I'm pretty sure he's got its blasting wand and giant spell. Huh. And yeah, with the Yumi on him, I'm sure he had a great time testing this out. It's just like an insurance. He's literally got 3 people on him. including the AD carry and the mage. Oh my gosh. And you best believe that Vel'Koz is dead. He's immune to the Vel'Koz's E. Okay, that was kind of crazy. Jesus. And even though it's a clone, he's going to auto-attack just to heal with his lifesteal. Jesus. Yeah. Okay, so this champion's... It literally just seems like a new and improved version of Udyr in every single way. I would imagine because he's so tanky and has so much like... This is his ult's slow, so he's got a slow now that I don't think existed before on his R. I could be wrong. His Q, I think a lot more of his spells also gives him more maximum health damage. So the question is, did they lower Udyr's scaling on his AD in exchange? Because that would be a pretty reasonable thing for them to do. I'm just curious. Oh my god, the Magi's. I love it. I really hope he doesn't die, because that is going to be so insane with 25 stacks. Oh, he's literally going for an AP, yeah. He's literally going for like the Diana build. Except for Nashers and Frozen Hearts. Or except for Demonic and Frozen Heart, he's getting, he would be getting Nashers. Alright, well. Yeah, it looks like he is just trying to proc that burn over and over again. Because I think his ult sets everyone on fire. And it's kind of like the same mentality as getting Demonic Embrace and Sunfire on Shyvana. Kind of just a giant threat that burns people around you. And I believe they just get this for free. Honestly, it's actually worth it. It's worth the shot. If he steals Baron away, it's good.
No, you don't. Come on, man.
Alright.
Just do a limit test right
Oh man, you can't. Yeah, you're dead. It's just so funny. I feel it's better to start running before they all die. They're all gonna die, aren't they? Oh, what's his mobility like? Oh gosh, oh gosh.
What about Yumi at? Why is he swimming?
Oh, Yumi kind of just dipped.
Yumi, get off me. What are you doing? Trying to get the auto off?
Oh, rip. Alright. That was, that would have been epic. But right trolled him. He's just farbing. Alright. Took some farm, took the red, and now he is kind of melting a... Oh, he's got lethal tempo. Oh god, he's gonna lose stacks. Run, dude, you're gonna lose your stacks. No. Oh my god.
That's the save of a lifetime.
What?
I'm here with you. Yumi's here. Alright, go.
Okay, that's insane. Okay, yep. That was still insane. Alright. And we came here for the Udyr gameplay, not the Jhin gameplay. So let's continue on. That is insane. This champion's tankiness and damage are pretty crazy. I think it's pretty clear that he doesn't have full tankiness because he did die to 5 people a little bit faster than like a full tank, but that's pretty obvious considering he's not full tank. But I mean, the damage he does, like he's, oh god, it's nothing compared to Vex though. Jesus Christ. All right. Yeah, I bet it feels good to play this champion late game with a bunch of items. I feel like enemy team has been grouped a lot since I think they're all pretty much super high elo players. But I'd imagine in low elo when they're split off and like there's all these turrets and they like overextend to farm, it'd be very easy to catch them out with your E. And just you do so much damage and you have so much sustain and you slow, so they can't win the 1v1, they can't escape it, and you can't get CC'd. It's kind of crazy because like imagine a Fizz ults you, or like a Morgana tries to throw a Q at you. Those are things you could very easily just E out of. So I guess I guess Udyr's new 200-year mechanic is his double E. We'll call it that. And I think he's gonna live through this.
Get that ramp charge right now. Okay, we're going.
Yeah.
Where's my damn Yumi at?
Jesus.
Look how slow you are. Why boots on you? You know, the first time I played Yumi, I bought boots. People were like, why you buying boots?
First time you played Yumi bought boots, it's funny. I remember when Yumi was so overpowered on release that she, you would get full AP on her, and you would literally one-shot them. You would just attach onto an Evelynn who's invisible, and your Q would pop out. And actually, I think it used to be invisible when it first released, but like, if you had enough AP, you could literally one-shot people with Yumi's Q, but she's been nerfed so many times, for good reason. Yeah, and Vex is so bad.
Nah, we're not. We're flanking.
I want to see a one-shot.
Alright, we got a block top. Take care. We got him stun. He's stunned right there.
Alright. Goodbye.
Yeah, I'm gonna stun him and him do Ram in 2 seconds.
Oh. And goodbye. I think that's game, right? Should be GG. Just farming. Oh, he's pushing. Yeah, pretty wild. Okay, he literally ran out of a Leona Wukong ult to Aatrox. That E could be very useful, let's just put it that way. And he gets so much movement speed too. Jeez. Oh my god, his E, he kind of was outrunning the Vel'Koz ult for a second. I love this. This is actually amazing. With a Yumi, this is going to be so impossible to deal with if he gets fed. Yeah, goodbye. Goodbye. Alright, that's gotta be it. I think we should talk briefly about this rework overall. And also, I will say, be sure to check out Trick2g's video, his channel. I'll link it down below. But let's talk about this new Udyr. So, I think overall, I like what they did with him. I feel like maybe his E could like dash a little bit, like you can like lunge at them a little bit further, because it says lunge, but it seems like it's not enough to really compete with a lot of champions. I feel like he's gonna have to do a good amount of damage to, you know, counteract the fact that he is a melee champion without a gap closer. Because I feel like I'm not really sure what reasons you'd pick Udyr over Darius, a champion like Darius who I think he would do a lot more without having mobility, but that's to be determined. Overall, I think the VGU 10 out of 10, the visual upgrade 10 out of 10. I'm curious to see how he plays out though. I think he'll be okay, but not like insane. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, check out Trick2g's videos. Links will be down below, and have a great day. Peace out.